Hey everyone, my name is Wes, and welcome back to another episode of Terror Talk where I discuss creepy clips online. I created this original horror music to add to the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Be sure to leave your own comments, and when you're done watching, check the description if you'd like to listen to my music without the commentary. Now let's get into it and have some fun.
This happened to me during my freshman year of college in 2019. I'm graduated now, but I often think about it. During Halloween week, my college had crazy parties daily. I attended a Big Ten school, so there are always fraternity costume parties, and even the bars make people dress up. It gets pretty wild, lots of booze, lots of police, and lots of memories.
Did you party a lot when you were in college? I know for a fact that I didn't party a whole lot. That was never really my thing, but let me know in the comments below if you partied or not. I'm just curious.
This event happened to me on the Saturday of Halloween week. Our football team had a huge win that day, and my friends and I were going to this one particular fraternity off campus to celebrate the victory. We knew about this because one of my friends, Alexandra, was dating a guy on the team. We got to the frat party around 11 o'clock, and things got pretty crazy. Everyone was getting drunk really fast, and we were all booing the school that we beat in different chants while the music blasted. I was taking shots and dancing with all my friends,
Yeah, this kind of environment I never really liked or appreciated much. I'm more of a kind of hang out with your friends, maybe one or two in a group kind of person. Just go to a movie, get some food, that kind of chill thing. Maybe go over to someone's house and watch whatever it is, or just hang out. But yeah, I was never much in these types of parties.
a blast. It's critical to note that my phone had died during this time. I had given it to Alexandra to put in her purse. Later, I told my friends that I had to go to the bathroom and to wait for me by the DJ booth. We were all pretty intoxicated at this point. While I was in the bathroom peeing, I heard some frat brother in the house scream "cops" at the top of his lungs, and people started screaming and scrambling to get out of the house. I sprinted out of the frat house and was greeted by multiple cop cars and lights flashing. People were sprinting in different directions. Some cops were already talking to the frat brothers, while others were trying to catch underage people. In my intoxicated state, I realized I didn't have my phone. I started yelling out for my friends while avoiding the cops. Realizing I wasn't going to be able to find them in the crowd, I decided to...
Being in that type of situation without your phone would be really super stressful and even scary, wouldn't it? I would think so.
Start making my way home, even though I wasn't entirely sure how to get home. This frat house was pretty far off campus in a different part from other frats. I started making my trek home, and it was absolutely freezing. Even though it was only October, it was like 37 degrees that night. I'm still heavily tipsy, but conscious of everything around me. After a while, I knew I needed a break to warm up and hopefully sober up. I saw a building that looked like one of the academic buildings I'd heard about, so I approached it, opened the door, and stepped inside. It was pretty dark in there, but a few exit signs at different door entrances illuminated a decent portion of the inside. After 5 minutes, I started to sober up a little bit and realized I wasn't in an academic building. I was in a warehouse. I was much warmer, but I became nervous about the eerie feeling around me. I went to open the door, and a pit sank in my stomach. It was locked. How could it have been opened if it was locked from the inside? I started to make my way towards a door near the exit sign. I pushed it open and went through the door, expecting it to lead me to outside, but it was to another part of the building. This room was much smaller, illuminated by a low red light. There was a buzzing noise in the room from some machine. I could see chains hanging from the ceiling and steam in the room. I shit you not, it was like a typical horror movie scene.
Yeah, this already right here would just fill me with anxiety and dread, getting lost into this maze of warehouse or whatever the hell it is. Wouldn't it give you a lot of anxiety? Because, oh man, I'd be freaking out right now.
I went to turn around and go back through the door, but this door was also locked behind me. Sheer panic set through me, and at this point, I was trying not to break down. I leaned up against the wall and slid down silently, crying. This is when I heard it. A door slammed shut and footsteps. I instantly went silent and my eyes widened. I heard another door shut and more footsteps.
And I think this would be probably the most terrifying part of the whole experience, knowing that you're not alone. In this kind of strange, creepy, dark environment in a worn out building, like, you can almost assure that whoever is lurking about in these shadows doesn't have good intentions.
It was getting closer to my area. I saw the door next to me, and as quietly as possible, I opened it and snuck through. I started wading through the hanging chains and the steam. I heard the door from the previous room open and the footsteps approaching, and they were big, heavy footsteps. My fight or flight kicked in, and I came near a window. With all my might, I kicked it 5 times with my foot, shattering it. This was when I heard the feet running towards the door. I had maybe 10 seconds to spare. I leapt out the window, not even realizing that the other side of the building I was now on happened to be a high drop. I fell like 10 feet out of the window, landing on top of 2 recycling bins. I pushed myself off, shocked by the impact, and looked up at the window. It was shattered.
I feel like it was really lucky that those recycling bins were there, because if he had landed on like hard cement, his arms would have been broken for sure, I would think. And maybe even his legs, who knows? I feel like a 10 feet drop can do some serious damage if you just land on pure cement, but luckily those recycling bins were there.
And there was no one in the window frame. I dashed underneath some pine trees a few feet away, hiding myself in the shadows. When I looked back up, that's when I saw a figure looking out the window, looking in all directions for me. My whole body went numb in fear. As quietly as I could, I snuck across the street and ran. I ran for my life as fast as I could, for I didn't know how long until I recognized the side of campus my dorm was on. I got back to my dorm, and my friends were waiting for me outside, panicked and freaking out. They told me I had been gone for almost 4 hours. The following day, I told them of my experience. My friends' mouths hung open as they listened to me talk. After further discussion, I discovered that it was a building that hadn't been used in several years. The pit in my stomach hit me again. Whoever was in the building wasn't a cop. It wasn't night security. This was some random person after me. It still makes me sick to this day. If I hadn't been more quiet or thought as quickly, I could be dead. Even though I tried to find out information, nothing came up. It still remains the scariest thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, having that black figure just kind of looming and watching you at the very end there, that would be very scary too. And overall, I thought this was a creepy story. And I don't know, would you have been as calm and collected as this person was in the story? I thought they handled it as well as anyone could have, because sometimes in these different types of situations, I feel like you're either gonna fight and survive or you're not, and I think it really just comes down to a matter of how you calmly collect yourself. So yeah, I thought this was a cool story, and I hope you enjoyed my commentary, and I will see you in the next video.